What's up, y'all? Shook here, back with another video on the Resto Shaman, doing some 2v2 with Plum on his Demon Hunter and his Boomkin. We kind of mixed it up. We were trying out different comps that we thought would go good with Resto Shaman. Here's the build that I was running in the videos. This isn't the most popular build to run. Most people usually run Totemic Projection. They also usually run Totemic Recall. You can reset the cooldown of like Earthen Wall Totem and stuff like that. And I do run Totemic Recall sometimes. I just wasn't running it in these twos games. These are the PvP talents that I'm running. I swap out Grounding for Burrow, and you can change up a lot of the PvP talents for Resto Shaman, except for I usually run Living Tide almost every single time. That's about everything I have to say for the build, so let's get into the games. So this first game is going to be against an Arms Warrior and a Disc Priest. And Arms Warrior is honestly kind of tough for Resto Shaman. I think, I don't know, most of the time my strategy is to do this right here where I just pull him behind a pillar and then root him. He can Blade Storm out of that. I don't know if he just chose not to. This is going to be kind of a weird thing where the priest is going to try and just tool around Plum, and I'm just going to sit here and try and avoid the warrior. I don't want to be face tanking the warrior if at all possible. Most of these games took place at around 2100 to 2150 MMR when we were on the Demon Hunter and the Shaman, and then when Plum swapped to his Boomkin, they were around like 2050 MMR. So, you know, kind of some decent games. I rooted him behind the pillar again. Again, he's choosing, and maybe he can't Blade Storm out of that, and I'm just thinking of something else, but I thought he could Blade Storm. Plum's getting a lot of pressure on the Disc Priest, and I think the Warrior's coming to try and peel for him for a second. And again, I'm just going to go into that Ghost Wolf form and just kind of try and take as little damage as I can. Plum's going to kind of come peel for me a little bit. It's just kind of a cat and mouse game here. I'm going to go for a Hex on the Disc Priest. The Warrior does have Sharpened Blade up, and I want to try and use my Earthen Wall. So right there I missed because Plum kind of zoomed out of it, and this was one of the reasons why we kind of decided to change comps, because Demon Hunters kind of just fly around the map a whole lot. Now again, I can use the projection talent that lets me move my totems basically every 10 seconds. I wasn't using that in some of these, and I probably should have. It would have made the comp better, I think. Just to be able to kind of use Static Field to bounce him away. So right here I'm going to go back to the pillar and just try and get away from the Warrior again. He's going to swap to Plum, and we're at like 43% dampening. The higher we get in dampening, the more important Earthen Wall Totem does become. It's like a major cooldown for Shamans. Like the difference in standing in Earthen Wall and not standing in Earthen Wall is huge. So I do have 24 seconds left on Burrow. Oh, so right here he does Blade Storm out of the root, so I was right. So I'm not sure why he was holding Blade Storm some of those other times. You can see me just kind of running around the pillar here. I'm going to Thunderstorm him when he gets close to me, and again, I'm just going to try and get around the pillar. I don't want to face tank an Arms Warrior at 46% dampening. It's going to be really tough. I do pop my Healing Tide here, but I think it might be close to out of range on Plum, so I'm just going to start spamming those healing surges. I do really want to lay a healing stream before doing that, but I guess I was thinking that my Healing Tide was in range. Right here I do get an Ascendance proc, and I'm kind of just doing a little bit of damage. He is on Stun DR, which is unfortunate, but we're starting to get kind of chip damage on both the Priest and the Warrior. So right here Plum interrupts the ultimate Penitence, and I'm trying to do damage to the Warrior again. I do go for the Hex, and I get the Hex on the Priest. He trinkets, and I do shear the ultimate Penitence. So again, we have a ton of pressure. Plum does go ahead and decide to use Darkness there, which was a good Darkness on that ultimate Penitence. I go ahead and use Burrow, just trying to get away from this Warrior a little bit. Probably not the greatest Burrow, honestly, because he didn't have any cooldowns rolling, but I was just scared because we are at 52% dampening. And right here he swaps back to Plum, and I pop a little mini cooldown here just for some extra kind of like spread healing. Plum's going to get a lot of damage on both of them right here, and I'm not sure at this point. I think really our kill target's probably going to be the Warrior, even though he's hitting the Priest right now. I get a lightning lasso. It's slightly DR'd. He does fear me, and then he instantly breaks his own fear, so that's really good for me. We do have Earthen Wall available. I don't really want to be in range of the priest when I use it. I use Static Field there to just kind of peel him around the corner. Again, Totemic Projection would have been really good in this match. Definitely should have ran it. I do Trinket late on that Stormbolt, even though I did Thunderstorm him off me. The priest is winning on mana at this point, but I think as long as I keep Water Shield up on me, we should be fine, you know, because I don't think at like 60% dampening it's really not going to matter that much. So right here, the warrior is pretty low. He does pop his Spell Reflect, and he goes for the Interrupt on me, and it gave me precog, so that was pretty nice. Right here, I'm just going to stand and try and do damage to him, because like I said, we're in pretty heavy dampening. I do pop my Healing Tide, and I just saw that Plum was feared. I tried to Tremor him a little bit late on the Tremor, so kind of unfortunate. You know, that could have cost us the match there. Priest is getting super, super low here. And so I'm just going to try and Lava Burst him. I did Fat Finger my kick there, so I did the same thing the warrior did. Really, really unfortunate. So kind of a waste of a kick. Plum uses the Hunt to gain ground there and close. He used it as a gap closure basically. We get a double stun, and right here I do get the Hex, and we get the kill on the warrior. So pretty decent opening match, and I think these guys were like 2100. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out here in just a second. And then I think after this match we kind of swapped to the Boomkin, because the games, so these guys were 2089, so about 2100. The games when we got to like 2150 were really, really sweaty, and like 2200 was just really, really tough. So we swapped to the Boomkin, which was lower MMR, I mean by like 100, but the games just felt honestly a lot smoother on the Boomkin, because like most of the teams have to go for the Boomkin, and I just lay Earthen Wall on top of him. If they don't go for the Boomkin, then like he's just going to do a ton of damage, and he has Cyclone, and he can like rotate clones, which is really, really powerful. It's like right there you see the priest use Guardian. I am going to Trinket the Strang on me. That's usually versus DKs almost what I'm going to trinket every single time. The Holy Priest uses his Guardian form, and he has also used his Guardian, so he's used both, you know, major cooldowns there. He does have Apotheosis left, and he does pop it right there, so he has about 16 seconds of Apotheosis. He uses the stun on me. We're just getting a ton of pressure here, and the Holy Priest is kind of falling behind. He is going for the Mind Games there, and I think he's going to go for the MC on me, so it gets really, really spooky right here, because he does get to MC me off. And Plum is out of the Earthen Wall totem, so he's going to MC me again, you know, and we're getting super, super low here. I do pop my Ascendance, and I'm going to start trying to pick him up. I am able to pick him up with Ascendance, but man, that got super, super sketchy. Just because we really didn't have much to stop it. I might have had a second where I could have sheared that second MC, but it was really that first one that got us. And I could have actually sheared the first one. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look. So it looks like he does use his Chastise stun. I don't have Trinket for this Strangulate. And right here, if we can just stabilize a little bit, we're going to win, because he is using his Symbol of Hope there. So that's kind of his last big mana cooldown. I still have Mana Tide Totem, and I don't actually think they have many defensives left. So right here, he does use Guardian, and they have PI, so there's the PI. Right here, he clones the Death Knight on the PI. He's just trying to spam Smite to reset his Chastise and do a little bit of damage. He chastises me, and that's a great Root Beam by Plum. I think he actually stopped the fear there, because I think the priest was coming to fear me, so he's gonna mind control Langren, which was pretty decent because the DK was popping a bunch of damage on him. And Plum's gonna do a bunch of damage here. He does IBF, so they have no Guardian, no Apotheosis. I don't think his Guardian form is back up yet. I'm gonna Trinket the Strang again, and I'm gonna go for the Hex on the priest. He Night Elf racials it. Man, Night Elf racials really, really annoying. That's probably one of the best racials in the game, like hands down. It's made me want to make my priest a Night Elf so many times. Lay Earthen Wall on top of Plum. He gets the full clone, and the Death Knight does go down. So I think that match should be in their favor, but I don't know, it was just kind of a bunch of weird things that happened where they weren't able to finish off Plum whenever they got the MC on me. But yeah, this game got me the elite set for the Shaman, and another one in the books. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these games. Let me know what you think in the comments. I've got some more Holy Paladin videos in the works. Going to start trying to push higher on the Holy Paladin. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe, drop a like on the video, helps me out a ton. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.